Welcome back to Great Day St. Louis. This next video has gone viral of a woman who goes by the name of Jamie, and she's posted this video of herself confronting her old high school basketball coach on the phone, and she accuses her of sexually abusing her from 8th grade all the way through high school.
You ruined my life. You ruined my childhood. Do you realize that? You're an assistant principal, huh?
Yes.
So what happens when a student comes in and says that they're having sexual relationship with a teacher?
Then I would involve law enforcement.
So how is that any different from what you did when I was at Chimawa Middle?
It's not.
You should be so ashamed and so disgusted with yourself.
I am.
So as you heard, the accused woman at the time of this call was an assistant principal at a different high school in California. But since this video came out, she has resigned. And Jamie says she finally got up the courage to report the abuse, but then when she went to report it, she found out that the statute of limitations had run out. So instead, she made the video to warn parents. Now, this is definitely a topic for an expert to weigh in on. So joining us now is sex therapist Lindsay Walden. Good morning.
Morning.
So I think the first thing that we think of when we see this is, wow, I don't think we've really ever heard of, or it's not common to hear of woman on woman when it comes to this type of abuse in a school, right?
Yeah, I mean, it absolutely happens.
Sure.
I think when you think about the types of things we hear, like in, you know, the major news stories, you're going to hear a lot more of like male on female abuse is a lot more common.
Or
we do
female on
sometimes there's
male
female on
sometimes.
male abuse in schools, but then, you know, like when the Joe Paterno stuff came out, or the, you know, Sandusky stuff came out a few years ago, and it was same-sex abuse. That was a really big, salacious deal. This is also one of those things that it's like it's a little more taboo, if that makes sense, and I don't think we always hear about it as much. Also, I think a lot of times with any type of same-sex abuse, the abused person is sometimes less likely to come forward and to say, like, you know, this happened to me by this teacher, by this individual, because of all of the stigmas attached anyways to, you know, abuse and then same-sex interaction.
I can't imagine there are probably a lot of kids who were afraid to come forward.
Oh, I would imagine.
Whether it was same-sex or not.
Absolutely, and that's the thing. It's like, it's already difficult, so then you add that kind of element to it where some people don't quite know what to say or how to go about it, and it's really confusing.
How do you feel about her confronting her like this and posting the video?
Well, I think it was an incredibly courageous thing to do. I'm a really big believer as a therapist, especially when I work with victims of trauma and abuse, that the people have to individually come up with how they're going to heal and the best way for them to do that. Now, it could have really backfired on her, so anybody that's watching, it's like, I don't know that this is always the best way to go, but it does seem like not only did she really stand up for what she was feeling, what she needed, but it was healing for her. She got the answers, and then she was able to warn everybody else. I mean, look at the kind of backlash that's happened, and, you know, the lady resigned, all of that.
Yeah. Well, parents, grandparents watching right now, what are the signs that their child may be, you know, being abused in this way?
Yeah, you know, the signs can really vary. A lot of times what I'll have parents think about is, you know, are the kids saying, I don't want to go to school, and it's more than just like, oh, I don't like school? You know, is it like, you know, I hate going to this class, or they're always going to the nurse's office at like second period or something, or if I hate going to gym, or I don't want to dress out, those kinds of things.
Well, or in the Sandusky situation, they're spending an awful lot of time one-on-one with this teacher or adult.
And I don't want to be like too alarmist and like, oh, you know, if you spend time with the teacher, then that's a bad thing, because I don't think that's what I'm trying to promote at all. But yeah, I think it's that you want to look for that kind of isolation. A lot of times abusers will want to isolate their victim because that's going to allow them to have more power, more control, more influence. So we want to kind of watch out for those types of warning signs.
All right. Thank you so much, Lindsay.
Yeah.
And we did post a link to Lindsay's website on greatdaystlouis.com. Kent?
All right, thank you, ladies. There is so much more ahead in the second half of Great Day St. Louis. How would you like to win $1 billion? That billion with a, what is it?
It's a B.
A B.
Yeah.
Starts with a B. All you have to do is make a few picks in the upcoming March Madness tournament. No problem, right? I'll have the details coming up.
Way more than a dillion with a D, by the way. And is this the next fashion trend? Holy smokes, I hope not. We're talking about meggings, as in leggings for dudes, when we come back.
And are you feeling a little blue today? Well, it could be what you're eating, or maybe not eating. We'll explain a little later.